Hey, Mr. Troy Peterson. How's your reception? Are you good?
I think we're doing good.
Perfect. Well, hey, we're almost on time. Sorry about the delay, folks. Drew Arnold with Reeds here, followed with Mr. Cory Brock, head of the Walker Fishing Department here in Walker, Minnesota at Reeds. And we're joined today by the one and only Mr. Troy Peterson, Mr. Panfish himself. And the fun thing we're going to do today is we are going to talk about the Ion Auger experience. So I know Troy's going to talk about the good and the bad of all the new ones that's coming out. And I know obviously we've got some ice deals going on at Reeds in honor of the sport shows. We're unfortunately not able to join you all at. We're doing some great deals. We'll hit on that a little later. But again, welcome to the Ion Zoom session here hosted with Troy Peterson at Reeds. I think, Troy, do you want to start at the bottom or do you want to start at the top? Because both are really, really good. Go top down or bottom down, however you want to do it, Troy. You take it away, and Cory and I will jump in.
All right, so I don't have the new standard Ion or the R1 with me, so I'm going to have you guys show that to the people. But Ion has been around now going, this is going on 10 years, and there's tens and tens of thousands of Ions on the market, and they have proven themselves to be the leader, the first, and the best electric augers on the market. They've continued to improve. Like I was talking before, we've got 3 new ones, starting off with a new Gen 1, or like the old Gen 1, the original Ion. And then we've got a new R1, which replaced the Ion X. We improved the motor. So we've got a little bit stronger motor, a little bit faster cutting. And then of course the introduction of the G2 last year, which is the lightest auger on the market. This year we've got the G2 10-inch, the lightest 10-inch auger on the market to date. Light, fast, and extremely smooth. But we'll start on the bottom. Drew, if you want to talk to him about the R1 and the original Ion that you have there in the store.
The number one thing that the guys enjoyed, drop that bottom if you would, of this is the true laser cutting technology. So this was the original blade that came out on the Eskimo augers back in the day with earth augers. And the key thing guys love about this is their reopening capability along with fresh cut holes. This is the original. It came out 10 years ago, still a 3-amp battery. Yes, if you're on the Zoom, you can get one of these 3-amp batteries for half price. You heard me right, Troy, half price. When you buy one, the nice thing is it's got your basic features. So as you hold in the button on the top, shows your battery life. They updated the handle since day one. So it's a lot tighter, easier to get in corners, but it comes with everything you need in the box. It is short because it comes with an extension. You do not need to buy an extension for it, but this is the original one that came out. Original retail on this is $5.99. Today's retail is $4.49. And with this Zoom deal, you're obviously getting about 15% off and free freight too. So run the math on that, Troy. You're down in that $369 category. But this has been the hottest auger for Reeds in the last 10 years has been this beast when you're looking at the Ion products or Eskimo products. From here, they go up to the new version of the R1, which last year and the year before was an X. And the Ion X is still the model, but the R1 itself has got a better battery life, cast iron bottom, and it's got the ring. Should we show them the ring, Cory, on there? Because that's a awesome technology too to keep all the ice buildup off the bottom of that. So if you notice on this beast, it's all open. The gap, so ice does not build up there as much as open. And notice it's all stainless steel bolts too. So anytime you want to swap out a bottom or change out your blades, you're rock and rolling.
Yeah, these both have been still tried and true augers that are awesome. I mean, that 3-amp hour battery, people are still getting a ton of holes with it, especially for your wheelhouse fishermen. You can jump up to the 5-amp hour battery, which obviously you're going to get a few more holes with that 5-amp. If you've got an older Ion or the Gen 1 Ion, you can also take that 5-amp hour battery, buy that 5-amp hour battery and put into your your original Gen 1 augers as well. So, and then we go to the biggest, baddest auger of all. We'll let Troy take away on that one.
All right, so I'm just going to touch on one thing for all the people that have owned an Ion and bought an Ion over the last 10 years. What they did is they made the new Composite Flight available this year that can be purchased separately. So this flighting right here that is, full composite, weighs about 4 pounds, just under 4 pounds. You can take this and it will fit onto any ion power head on the market going back 10 years. So
And
if
that's
you
the,
want to
Troy,
have
that
kind of almost a G2, this is the answer right here. You guys, and I know Reed's has a bunch of them. A great accessory to upgrade, your standard ion.
Yep, and that's basically the new composite ultralight flight, and you run it on the G2, just in an 8-inch. They retail at $219.99 if I go off my memory correct, and of course you can get 20 off on that with this ICE 2020 deal we're running too, Troy. But yeah, that's a great call because that accessory, you're spot on. Take an old 3 amp, 5 amp, and update it to almost G2, about half the price. So back to you, Troy.
All right. So the introduction of the G2 last year was a huge hit. Extremely lightweight. A lot more holes. They went to a 6 amp hour battery, and a couple of things that we changed. Just to kind of touch on batteries, we get probably one of the number one questions I get asked is, will the 6 amp hour battery work with previous models? No, the answer is no. The 6 amp hour battery only works with the Gen 2 power head, and vice versa. The batteries for the 3 amp and the 5 amp hour batteries only work with the R1 and the Ion X and the Gen 1 original Ion. So just make sure that you're aware of that, guys that want to upgrade their batteries. You got to stay with the 5 or the 3 for the older models, and the 6 amp for the G2s. So if you look at here, the new design, how easy this battery is to take on and off. We'll slide that on, flip that lever over, it's locked into place. And same thing as far as taking it off, we'll just unlock it, slide the battery on and off. So they went away with that strap, a really nice design, and just a little bit of a benefit here with the G2. With the R1 and the G2, you still get your lights, the LED lighting. All the models have reverse. That is an awesome feature for the guys using the wheelhouses or fishing in deep ice. You push that reverse and it flushes out your hole, and you don't have to worry about scooping all that slush and stuff out. Like we were talking about, the composite flighting on the G2 makes this thing, we're talking 18 pounds only for a 10-inch auger, 18 pounds. And there's nothing even close to that on the market. And the biggest thing, I guess, when I first drilled with this, I wish I could show you the video. When we were up in Cumberland last year, they gave it to us. I was expecting this thing to have a little bit of a torque. I would almost have to tell you that this has less torque than the 8-inch. And then when I broke through, that's the staple of the design of their cutting head, as we were talking about before on the pistol bit and the F1.
And this, Troy, this is all composite, I believe, right? Besides your stainless blades.
Yep, all composite. And with that ring, when this thing goes through the ice, you have no torque when you break through. I had water coming up the hole, and I was already broke through, and I didn't even know it. That's how smooth this 10-inch auger is, and super, super impressive. I've never really run a 10-inch auger just because of the fact that I hate that breakthrough and I hate that torque on my body. But after drilling with that this last spring, this is my first 10-inch auger I've ever owned, and I can't wait to use it in my wheelhouse.
That's fantastic, Troy. We're glad to see you're converting over. Sometimes the Wisconsin anglers like those smaller holes, but us Minnesota guys average, a 10-inch hole in our permanent shacks, Troy. But you're coming to the good side.
My small holes for certain things.
There you go. But Ken, I think that answers your question, Ken. That whole bottom's composite except for those stainless blades on the G2. And yes, let's talk about that next question that just came through. So this is one amazing adapter. You've got a quick disconnect system on this side that will plug and play. That'll attach to any of the standard auger bottoms that are out there today. So auger on this end, different bottoms on this end. And then this accessory is awesome for your anchors on your hub houses. So It connects very easily, just quick to nest right down here in the bottom, hook it on and use your ion to put in your ice cleats as well, or your ice anchors as well.
So and I'm going to kind of go back and kind of toot our own horn here a little bit. When it comes time to, durability and strength and dependability, the one thing that Eskimo did, they were the first ones to offer a 5-year warranty on the gas augers. Ion has a full 3-year warranty. That's industry leading on not only the drill, but the battery as well. So you've got 3 years that you can use this auger worry-free. And, that just says something. They make a statement and stand behind their products.
Troy, one of the questions out there was, can I put my original 10-inch or the new 10-inch on my original auger? I believe you can. You just get that adapter and you're ready to rock and roll to change out the flightings to lighten the weight. Isn't that correct?
Yep.
That adapter is the sheet metal component. So one of the other fun things that we talked about doing at the Zoom, due to our great friends over there in Cumberland, Wisconsin at Artisan, is we are going to do, for anybody on the Zoom, we are going to do a free set of 8-inch blades with any of the Ions, G2, R1, or the standard old original, the old greenie, 8-inch blades free with anybody on the Zoom. And that would be available tomorrow because the call center is open 9:30 and 5:30 at 800-346-0019. But tell the guys at the call center that Drew and Corey said you get free blades with your Ion. And we'll make them honor that for sure.
We'll take care of you.
Yep. So we're giving deals. I know the deals sometimes are too good to be true, but you can either call us or use those. Use coupon code ICE2020 at checkout, and you'll get a great savings. In the G2, I can only verbally tell you you'll get a deal, but add that coupon to your cart and you'll get a deal on there for sure. We want to keep all of our competition on the field happy with us here at Reed Sport and Friendly. So anyways, Troy, back to you. Sorry, I had to give that one pitch on how to save in case they tap out because we know it's getting late, but Troy, back to you.
Yeah, no, we missed the ice shows. I'm sure all the consumers are like, man, we're not going to get the deals like we normally get at the ice show. And really, you guys are bringing the ice show to them here virtually. And, we don't have to worry about the big crowds or anything like that too. So makes it easy for the guys to shop at home. Now, one of the questions I know I get asked a lot, and we touched base a little bit about the, earlier with the Eskimo augers is, do they make the 6-inch? And yes, they used to make the 6-inch when the, first Ions came out, and they did go away with that. But there's kind of a redneck way of fixing that. And that is to take any Ion power head, the Gen 1s, the Ion X, the R1, the G2, any power head, and then take a pistol bit. We call this the Christmas auger. And the insert of the pistol bit comes out and it'll actually slide right up on top of your Ion shaft. And now you've got, an extremely lightweight, fast 6-inch auger that you can drill holes. I guarantee you won't run the battery out drilling with this thing. So for the guys that do want a 6-inch auger, buy yourself an 8 or a 10-inch G2 and a 6-inch pistol bit and you're covered.
Stub shaft and make them adapt to each other and you'll be good to go.
Yes,
one of the things, Troy, I guess I wanted to touch on too was on the batteries. Right now you've got a 3 amp hour battery, a 5 amp and a 6, but over the last 10 years, the Ion batteries have been absolutely remarkable. It's one of the number one questions I get here in the store is, well, what's the life expectancy of these batteries? What can we get out of them? It's really a tough question to answer for people right now because we really don't see any batteries go bad. Very seldom do we do. Going back to the original Gen 1 3 amp batteries
10 years ago.
10 years ago, we're still not seeing an influx of those batteries. Those batteries are still hanging on. So, it's one thing I try to stress with a lot of people. These batteries, the technology they're putting into their batteries for these Ion augers, it is unbelievable. So,
well, and I can contest to that. I can touch base. When I first got the first Gen 1 10 years ago, I was worried about running out of battery. So, like a lot of people, we bought second batteries and third batteries to have with us. And what we found is I still have my original 3 amp battery that we now use. Ion makes a power source that'll slide on the back. Drew, I think maybe you might have one of those at the store. It'll slide onto the batteries and you can use some alligator clips or, plug some wires in. It'll convert your 40-volt battery into a 12-volt power source for, running lights in your shack. Or,
yeah. And the other thing, Troy, that we use this for, and I sorry, it's backwards on there, but look right down here. anglers out there, 2 USB ports. So when your phone goes dead, or if you want to charge something up, you're running a Panoptic system, you charge off your battery, the whole 9 yards, you can connect all to this. Great accessory, hooked on any of the ion batteries.
Well, yeah, you can get one for the Gen 1 batteries, or the Gen 2 battery. The Gen 2 battery does take a specific power adapter. Just make sure you know that. But they last forever. That the biggest question is, how long do the batteries last? And if I remember right, going back 10 years, I think the supplier, the people that build the batteries for us told us, it's probably going to be an 8 or 9 year battery. So everybody was expecting to see a big surge in buying new batteries, and guys are still running their original batteries from 10 years ago and not losing any charge. So yeah, I mean, it truly speaks highly of the design and really what into these augers, and how good they truly are.
Yeah, one of the questions we had come through too was, will my 3 amp battery charger work for a 5 amp battery charger? And I believe, correct me if
Yes.
I'm wrong, I believe it will. That it's the same charger for the 3 and the 5 amp chargers. So for those 2 batteries.
Same charger for all the Gen 1 batteries, and the 3 amp, the 5 amp, that is the same charger. The only thing that is totally separate is anything that has the G2 label on it is all by itself.
Roger that. Hey, Troy, one of the other specials we talked about doing tonight in lieu of the ice shows was we talked about the 50% off your 3 amp battery on your new ion. We talked about the free blades with any 8-incher. And one thing I don't think we hit on was 20% off any accessories. So if anybody wants to get the quick disconnect system or the cleats,
The stub shafts. Yep. I mean, there's a list of accessories that they make. So, I mean, we'll get you the deal on the accessories as well.
And that's available right on reedsports.com. You can use coupon code ICE2020 at checkout. A lot of those deals are visible, but if it's not, use that code ICE2020 at checkout and you'll see it appear in your cart, because some of those deals are our team in Cumberland, Wisconsin likes to make sure we don't publicize. So use ICE2020 at checkout too on there for all you anglers out there. Want to save a buck? We're here to help as well. So, and yes, the ion batteries are the lithium batteries of today that came through. They're not a Life 4 battery, but I'm sure they will be down the road. I mean, you look at the battery weight today and things are getting lighter as we go. It's going to only go that way. There might be a guy in the industry named John Marshall who's been involved with that. He and a partner in crime over at Versa, Steve Hansen. I mean, they're the gurus on the Markham side of it and on the ion side of it too. And Troy, have you talked to John about where the batteries are going to go for the ion in the near future?
They have not had any reason to change the technology other than to just improve the size. This thing has proven itself, and as the saying goes, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So you've got a lightweight, very durable, long-lasting battery, and they continue to improve the cells year after year. So we're just going to see, I think, improvements of what we got.
Stick with the lithium.
Absolutely.
That's the way to go, for sure. Is there any other questions we can answer between the expert Corey Brock, Troy Peterson, and myself that we can help with? Please give them a chat. Hopefully we're answering all those questions that are coming through, and have covered a few ways we can save in lieu of the ice shows, but we'll run those deals on reedsports.com through Sunday the 20th. Using that coupon code ICE2020. But Troy, I think you've been awesome this evening. We appreciate all your help. You're the godfather over there in Wisconsin, and if you come on over to Minnesota, you got to stop in. We'll mark a map. Maybe Mr. Brock will take you out fishing and get you on some beautiful Leech Lake walleyes over here in the Minnesota zone, Troy.
I'm going to take you guys up on that.
Might have a place you could stay called Trapper's Landing Lodge, Troy. Great accommodations, beautiful fish houses that'll be really close to shore this year due to our lack of ice and rough ice right now, but we're gonna get those out here hopefully in the next couple of weeks to walkable ice for the time being. But Walker Bay finally froze here for a little Leech Lake update, finally froze on Monday. So we're not making ice because it was like 7 or 8 degrees out just a few minutes ago, and we haven't hit any negative. So hopefully the good Lord helps out on that and gives us some ice here in Minnesota. And I'm sure you guys are thinking the same, Troy, over in Wisconsin.
Yeah, what's funny is I was just out in my boat 5 days ago shooting some video, And
Wow.
now, we're finally starting to skim over and get some hard water down here in Wisconsin.
That's it. Well, awesome. Anglers, if there's anything we can help with on the Reed's end, again, we appreciate your time. Myself, Drew, and Mr. Corey Brock are here pretty much 5 days a week, 7 days a week. The call center is open. We can help any questions, any advice, any price quotes. We love to ship. We can ship next day. So we can deliver any state you're in pretty much within a 2 or 3 day window. But we're glad to take care of you the best you can and deliver a Reed's experience to you. So again, on the Reed's team,
Thank you, guys.
thank you for joining us this evening. And we're going to do Eskimo apparel next with Miss Manioric. So we'll see you here in a few minutes at 8 o'clock. Have a good evening.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Troy.
Thank you.